So we'll continue with our theme of free breathing. And I want to explore two different types of breathing today. One type of breathing is a breathing that flows, that penetrates more deeply into the body. And another type of breathing is a breathing that flows more into this upper region, shoulder region, and brings more of a sensitivity and a lightness to our awareness. So we'll start, first of all, we'll start with a simple exercise, more to conjure up this experience of sensitive lightness. You could take your hands to your collarbones and make sure that you keep your elbows quite wide open so that your breastbone is, as it were, lifted up a little bit. That whole shoulder girdle is lifted up and feels very open. And you can open your hands out into the space around you. So you also take your senses out into the space around you with that movement. We can do that movement a few times from the collarbones out into the surrounding space. And you can feel as you do this that your breath flows more naturally into that collarbone region. So this movement with the collarbone breathing encourages a kind of awareness, a kind of sensory experience that our senses very much are directed outwards into the surrounding space. It gives a freer, lighter kind of experience. And then relax your arms again. And I want to come straight to the cosmic prayer. So with the cosmic prayer, we also experience our relationship to the space around us. So we can keep our attention very much outwards. We can keep this collarbone region lifted, and we can keep the breath just lightly coming and going. It will change with each of the movements that we do with our arms. So for the first gesture, take your right hand into your left. Then for the second gesture, move the hands out into the space in front of you. This is the gesture of readiness. The third gesture, the flower, you take the hands up above the head, opening them like a flower. The fourth gesture, wide open to the light. Then turning to the center, the hands meet at the heart center. And then the gesture of appreciation. And finally, the gesture of devotion. And back to the beginning. Being ready. Then we grow to the flower. Wide open to the light. Turning to the center. In appreciation and devotion. Be aware of the breath as it comes and goes to and from the surroundings. The beginning lies in the readiness to grow like a flower, wide open to the light, turning to the center in appreciation and devotion. The beginning lies in the readiness to grow like a flower, wide open to the light, turning to the center in appreciation and devotion. And relax. So I just want to show you these brochures I've just had printed This is the Cosmic Prayer by Heinz Grill, and it's an extract from a larger book of his called Exercises for the Soul. And I thought it would be really nice to produce these as separate brochures, because people really love the Cosmic Prayer, and it will give you a deeper explanation. So there's the whole cycle is depicted at the beginning, and then there's a page for every for each exercise. It's got a description on one side and a picture of the movement and what each movement means on the other side. They've come out really nicely. They're lovely glossy paper. I'm very pleased with them. So I'm selling them for £3 each. If you want me to send you one, just let me know. Okay, so let's carry on with some more active exercises now. So with the more active exercises, we can perceive how our breath flows more into the depth of the body. So we'll come to the sun prayer, and we'll notice our breathing flowing more into this solar plexus and rib cage and abdominal region. So we can do some quite active stretches from the solar plexus. Take your hands together and take the arms up above the head and really actively grow from the solar plexus region. Let your breath flow. Then take the hands down. Take the right foot back. Come into the base in the half moon and actively lift up out of the rib cage. Then come into the plank. Knees down, hollow the back, face down. Open into the cobra. Push into the downward dog. Take the right foot forward. Stretch up actively from the solar plexus. Other foot forward. Come up once again. Lengthen and grow. And take the hands by your sides. Once again, hands together. Stretch up and lengthen. Take the hands down. Left foot back. Half moon. Plank. Knees, chest and forehead down. Cobra. Triangle. Left foot forward. Stretch up into the half moon. Other foot forward. Come up once again and grow. And take the hands down. So we'll do a slower round with more intensive stretching from the solar plexus. Let's do just the standing half moon on its own. Feel the feet really firmly on the ground as your base. Now you can direct your awareness in a more focused way to the solar plexus and actively stretch. Be aware of your breathing as you stretch. Keep the upper region light, the fingertips are light. Be aware of that active stretching happening in the solar plexus, and that can bring that deeper, more penetrating kind of breath. And then relax down again. So let's do another round, a little bit more slowly. And we can really focus on a more pinpointed stretch from the solar plexus region, more intensive stretch through. Take the hands down again, bend forwards, and let's just pause in this position. You can lengthen up through the backs of the legs and let the body lengthen down. Now take the right foot back and form a good base, stretching through into the legs. Take the arms up and now actively grow from the solar plexus. You can lower the pelvis and raise the rib cage at the same time. Let the breath deepen. Come into the plank. Knees down, hollow the back, drop the face down and then slide forwards. Now we'll just pause in the cobra. Direct your awareness to the solar plexus. And you can grow a little bit more intensively from that region. You'll notice the breath deepening. Push into the downward dog. Pause again. Let's bring your hips up a bit higher so that your back stretches more. Let the breath deepen. Take the right foot forward. Grow into both legs quite actively. So you've got a good firm base, and then out of that base, you can really stretch through the middle of the body, fingertips light, breath flowing. Come into the forward bend, taking the other foot forward, lengthen the legs, let the upper body hang, free breath. Come right up into the standing half moon, good firm feet, lifting from the middle, streaming right up through to the fingertips, and take the hands down. Just take a breath. You should notice it's much deeper now. Other side, hands together. Take the arms up, good firm base with your feet, lifting from the ribs, streaming up through to the fingertips. Take the hands down. Let's lengthen up through the legs, lengthen down through the back. Left foot back. Grow into both legs. And as you sink down with the legs, go up with the rib cage, right up through to the fingertips. Let the breath flow fully and deeply. Then take the hands down, come into the plank, good firm line. Take the knees down, hollow the back, drop the chest down and the face and slide along the ground. Open into the cobra. If you anchor with your pelvis, you can stretch in the solar plexus. Come into the downward dog. Bring your hips right up high so that your back stretches more. Let the breath flow into the depth. Left foot forward. Grow with the legs. And by lowering with the legs, you can lift up with the rib cage and stream up to the fingertips. Let the breath flow. Other foot forward. Lengthen the legs up. Grow down with your back. Then come right up into the standing half moon. Breathing, lengthening, growing even more. And take the hands down. Let's do one more round, a fast one. But really try and keep the breath flowing, hands together, stretching up high and come forwards. Right foot back, good base, actively growing. Come into the plank, take the knees down, hollow the back, chest and face down. Cobra, triangle, right foot forward. Half moon. Left foot forward. Standing half moon and grow. Keep breathing and take the hands down. Hands together. Take the arms up and actively stretch. Take the hands down. Left foot back. And now grow. Breathing. Plank. Knees down, hollow the back, face down. Cobra. Triangle. Left foot forward. Half moon. Right foot forward. Standing half moon and grow. And take the hands by your sides. So we'll come to warrior two. So take your left foot to point out to the side. Have your right foot to point forwards. Make sure your hips stay open. And now bring your knee down directly over your ankle. So already in this position, you might notice that your breath is directed more downwards. We're really active in the pelvic region. But now we're going to do the movement out to the side. You can take your right arm by your ear, bend your forearm onto your knee, and now you can really start to lengthen through that whole side of your body. We're going to bring an intensive and thorough stretch into that right side of the body. Just be aware of your breath as we really stretch. We can allow the breath to be directed more into that side, into the rib cage area. So straighten up your body and then straighten up the leg. Lower the arms and change over to the other side. Keep that hip open. Right knee comes directly over the ankle. Just notice in this position, the breath can be more directed down as you gather your strength in the pelvis. Now we can take the forearm onto the knee and start to really lengthen right through the whole side of the body. And be aware of the breath. It can flow into that rib cage area. Allow that intensive stretching through. See if you can stretch out even more from your foot right through the side towards your hand. So we're going to keep the leg bent while you straighten up the body first. Then straighten up the leg, make the feet parallel, clasp the hands behind your back, and then hang forwards like this. So in this hanging position, again, you can experience the breathing. You might feel it flowing right into your sides, into your ribs, into your abdomen. And then return to standing position. You can keep your feet parallel, wide apart, and we'll come into the twisted triangle. If you take your arms wide out into this openness, let's pause for a moment. Let's take the arms up above the head. This is the pyramid, and in this position, we can experience our threefold structure. The triangular base, the more active stretch in your middle, particularly in your sides. You can be aware of your sides. And then above the head, the arms, the hands, they're free and light. This experience of the threefold structure can encourage much freer breathing. And take the hands down. So for the twisted triangle, we need to direct the movement to start from the solar plexus region. Take the hands out into that wide stretch. Lift a little bit with your rib cage and come down into this twisted triangle, streaming actively up to look up at the top hand. Breath flowing. Come back to the middle again. Wide openness, be aware of the solar plexus. Lift and then swing down to the other side, looking up towards the top hand. Be aware of the breath. Come back up once again. Always remain aware of that solar plexus region. In that way, the breathing can be directed more to that area. Lift, and once again, come over to the other side. And now we can actively stretch up a little bit more, growing towards the top hand. Be aware of the breath. Come back up once again. An active lift and swinging down to the other side. Be aware of the solar plexus and direct the twisting specifically in that region. Streaming up higher. Come back. We'll do it one more time on each side. A good active lift and a wide movement round. Breathing and twist actively up. The top hand streams up into the space. Return. Lifting up. And right the way around to the other side. And grow from the middle, upwards. And then return again. And take the hands down. Just be aware of the breath as it flows in this solar plexus area. And then you can close your legs. And as a next position, we'll come to the preparation for the plough. It's probably a bit too much to do the plough early in the morning completely. So we'll just do the movement with the legs over the head. But if you're doing the recording later on, then you might want to pause and do the full plough as well. So for this plough preparation then, you can take your legs over your head like this. And the simplest option is just to keep the hands on the floor behind you. But if it's more comfortable, you can also put your hands on your back. Or if you're able to, you can take one hand up above the head. And then follow that by taking the other hand up above the head. And in that position, with the arms up above the head, you can feel the breath flowing more fully into the sides of the body, more freely into the sides. Just spend a bit of time observing your breath in this position. It naturally lends itself to a deeper, more penetrating kind of breathing. So to come out of the position, you can take your hands behind your back once again and roll back down. Just be aware of your breath. So we can do another variation of this position. And this is when we take the legs wide apart. So in the same way, you can take your legs up once again, support your back with your hands, and take the legs into a wide spread. Once again, you can experience that deeply flowing breath. And then with a careful guidance of your awareness, you can direct the awareness to that solar plexus. And you can grow quite specifically from that region. The growing happens upwards through the lower back and outwards through the legs towards the heels. The more you grow,
actively from the solar plexus towards the heels, the deeper the breath becomes. And then you can return again and just come back down. Relax and be aware of the breathing. So this plough position, it encourages a much deeper, more penetrating kind of breath. And it can feel very releasing for the whole body. So we'll finish off then with another exercise that comes back to this collarbone breathing and this more sensitive kind of open experience. And this is the fish. So when we do the fish, we lift the rib cage up very, very consciously. And we also open the collarbones so that when we've dropped the head back, the breathing can be encouraged right into that shoulder region. So you can come into the fish. Whenever you're ready to come into the position, you need to take the arms right underneath your body. Straighten out the legs. Make sure that the shoulder blades are drawn quite close together. Push up on your elbows. And now actively lift the ribs. Actively lift up your breastbone. And then you can drop the head gently back so the top of the head rests down on the floor. So the breath is encouraged to flow right into the collarbones. And that brings more of a sensitivity into our awareness. You can come out of the position when you're ready. Just hug your knees into your chest. And then come back up to a sitting position. So just sit in an upright position to finish off with, aware that this collarbone area is opened out once again. You can also kneel if it's more comfortable, so you can really get that feeling of being open in that region. So that region in particular, it's very near the throat chakra, and it corresponds to a very light, free experience. We can have the feeling that our senses are directed more outwards into the space around us when our breathing is allowed to flow into that region of the body. So let's finish our session there.